What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Matt, one of the hosts of the Black Hills Podcast.
And it's your boy Curtis, aka Deku Chia and Lord. It's been such a long time since I've said that.
Oh, hold on. We got nicknames now.
What you mean? I've always been Deku Chia.
I ain't know that. Okay, hold up. I gotta do mine again.
All right, take two, yo.
All right, because gotta get my stuff out. Make sure I'm good. All right, for real. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Mack, black man of the Black Bulls, real nigga of the Straw Hats.
Black man. Well, all right, y'all. It's your boy Curtis, aka Deku Uchiha, aka the last Uchiha, the last Black Uchiha.
Nah, that pause is too long. You should have thought about that earlier.
Nah, no, I only have Deku Uchiha. You had 2-3 nicknames just now, so I tried to think of one on the fly. It just didn't work.
Either way, it's your boy the Black. Yeah, it's your boy the Black Yasha. So moving on. So we back for the first time, kind of in a long time. It's been a minute.
Yeah, we've made videos, but it's been a while since we got a chance to do the podcast again. So I'm glad that we're back doing this again. I've missed this.
Same. I mean, I've just been busy, work, school, trying to go back to get my education.
Life. That's what happened. Life.
Yeah. So it's just been a lot, but whatever. We back. We with it for the time being. Classes come back in August. So
gang. Up. Until then. Spoiler alert, another hiatus in August.
But yeah, so this time we are back and we want to talk about what would be considered this generation, or what would be considered the new big three. Now, before anybody go up in arms, we understand that technically there can't quote unquote be another big three because the big three is more so a legacy thing for One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. But we just wanted to talk about currently what could be considered this generation's big three. Who are the big bads that are really carrying the shonen title?
Yeah, we can even give them a new name, the new Gen 3. So it could be its own thing. I think I asked you this question, a few weeks ago. We talked about it here and there, so it's nice actually to kind of bring it into podcast form. Because I was curious to see, who would you consider, the top dogs in your mind?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a bad conversation to have because, time moves on. It's not just a thing. I mean, before One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, it was the days of Dragon Ball Z, JoJo's, and Yu Yu Hakusho, or Hunter x Hunter, because actually I think Hunter x Hunter is more around that time frame. And granted, it's always more than just three, but there's always the ones that stand out the most, whether for good or bad reasons.
All right, look, side note, I actually forgot how old Hunter x Hunter was.
Yeah, man. I mean, that 8-year hiatus.
God dang.
8 year, I think it was 8 years, 8 or 9 without a chapter. Came back,
Jesus.
released 5, and now it's back on the hiatus.
Well, and people were just losing their minds because how long they had to wait for the second season of Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, you gotta. I mean, I go through a lot of series that go through a lot of hiatuses. So I mean, currently, let's see here, Ruri Dragon, which is the big thing in Shonen Jump right now. It's my favorite thing. It's a dragon. The girl is a dragon, so I'm hey, dragon stuff, I'll take all day long.
Is she toxic?
No, she's really cool. It's a really wholesome manga.
Okay.
But yeah, I just got that. Whatever, bro. So
hey man, I can't help it that you just love toxic women.
Hey,
it started with Azula in Avatar and it just never stopped.
First of all, it started with Shigo, but moving on.
That's even okay. You know what? That's valid. I'll give you that.
You was running lie.
I'll give you Shigo though.
Hey, bro, I'm about to say it, right? Elementary school was popping with Shigo. Let's not play. But no.
But if we get one last thing, is you brought up Shigo. You know who was a baddie that no one talked about? Kim's mom. Kim's mom, Loki was a baddie. It was this an adult Kim. No one ever talked about it. Sorry, just wanted to bring it up. I just like the MILFs nowadays.
Basic bitch. Moving on. So, what was I even talking about? I was talking about Rude Dragon, and I was also talking about right. So this isn't really a thing saying like this is a new big three or this is a like there has to be considered a new big three for every generation. But we just want to talk about like what is currently holding that shonen crown. So if anybody who wants to get at us and be like, there is no more big three, like relax, we get it. We're just having a conversation.
All right. So do you want to start with your list, or do you want to start with my list? Like who?
Nah, I'll let you start, Curtis. It's been a while, and I'll do the introduction. You can just start the list, and we'll be going back and forth. So he'll say his, I'll say mine, blah 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 blah, and then after that, you'll find out what we talk about afterwards later. For now, let's start the topic.
All right, sweet. So first one for me, and I feel like it was an obvious choice for me, Demon Slayer. It's the biggest thing currently in Shonen at the moment, and it's been that way for a good little minute. Like it just came out of nowhere and it's been an explosion ever since. And I think it's also like it's the show that has gotten so many eyes on anime. I will always thank Demon Slayer for what it's done for the anime community. Like it's bringing more eyes to what we've been seeing for years, and I think it's a pretty okay show overall. Is it perfect? No, but I think it does what it needed to do, and that's like bring people in and have them enjoy themselves.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, when it comes to Demon Slayer, I just put it in its own category. It's like it's kind of a freak of nature series that just it was not popular before the anime came out. Granted, if you look at the manga drawings, that's not hard to understand. Um, the manga art, the manga art in the beginning. I got the box set, so you might just want to see like volume 1 to volume 10, just the upgrade of what happened. But yeah, so it wasn't really popular when it came out here or in Japan. The anime came out, and I was using Tumblr at the time, because I just knew Twitter was like real toxic with a lot of stuff, and I got tired of seeing like classmates and stuff just talking about each other. So I remember having to like struggle to talk to people about Demon Slayer, and then episode 19 happened, and now Demon Slayer is like the anime Bible.
See, that's crazy that like people are saying like that episode, but I got in Demon Slayer episode 1. Like I think Demon Slayer has one of the best first episodes to me in anime.
But
like,
then
I put it up there, but
yeah, but you know how people's attention spans are. So you got the first episode, which is like the big shocker of just like, oh my gosh, the family's dead, no, and then it's like, oh, she's brutal, a demon. Yeah, it was, but it's like that first episode, but then you got to go through the 3 of them, which I enjoyed them because I like the adventure part of the story, and Tanjiro doing the traveling, fighting that weird hair head demon, getting picked up by Urokodaki, training for the Demon Slayer exam, taking the Demon Slayer exam. I thought that stuff was interesting. So I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good anime. I don't know why people aren't talking about it, or I don't know why it's getting more traction. But and I always go back to, I know a lot of people don't listen to him now. I mean, shit, I don't listen to him now. But Nuts Taku, when he talked about it, he was like, oh yeah, Demon Slayer, this little anime that nobody was really talking about. It had pretty cool animation, blah blah blah. I didn't make any videos on it. This guy didn't. But then episode 19 happened, and now I have 3 Demon Slayer videos. He has 4. He has 5. There's a whole Demon Slayer channel. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that episode really just put Demon Slayer on a pedestal that I just don't think is ever gonna happen again. So that's why I kind of want to put it in its own little thing. Not saying like it's the greatest thing to me. I just think for what happened with it and how big it blew up, it just kind of is in its own little subspace.
Okay, I can respect that. Like, it's so crazy to me. I know we have talked about this multiple times. As much as I do love Demon Slayer, I just will always say that the effects are real. I'm one of those people that think the effects are real, no matter who.
Somebody told me that should be considered inconsistent writing, and I'm like, the lady never switched up on saying that the effects are real. That's not. You
Like, it
can't
just
be
doesn't make any
inconsistent.
sense, bro. Like these demons can do all this crazy stuff, and you mean tell me all they can do is swing a sword?
So
Like
Curtis,
how like
where are they? Where? And I'll ask you again. What effect do you want for Mitsuri's Breath of Love? Like, what do you?
bro, Breath of Love is like a spin-off of Breath of Fire or Breath of Flame. Like it's
What you want her
fire.
to have the breath of STDs? Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, and her style, now that I got to finally see it animated, it's like a whip. That's it's a whip.
Okay, so yeah, what? It's the breath of S&M? Like, what the fuck? No. Like,
Just like, come on, man. Like, I still remember back in season 1 when Tanjiro was like fighting those two demons, one with the arrows, one with the volleyballs, and he blocked those attacks with water. Like, it looked like he blocked it with water.
it was force. It's the force of his swing. It creates a, like, I'm just saying, Curtis, where was the water? Where was anything wet after he used the breath style?
All the crazy things we've seen in our anime career, like someone that's producing water out of thin air, is impossible to you.
When they can only breathe, yeah. Where's the energy source? Because no matter what other thing that is there, chakra creates the elemental force. You know, spiritual energy creates elemental forces in what you call it in bleach, devil fruits. You know, these unnatural abilities in One Piece. It's a thing where there has to be an energy. These oxygen is not a supernatural force.
Hey man, like you remember Avatar? Like the firebenders created their own fire, so is it that hard to believe that
From
Rengoku created
chi,
his own fire?
from mystical chi energy. This is not you. You want us to believe in the power of oxygen this badly, but it's not.
It is, bro. Come on, man. You look at what the upper moons can do. How are they defending against that?
Because
With
they
just
are
a sword by
monsters.
itself?
They are monsters. These are people. Curtis, if you breathe in and out, you're never going to breathe water. You're never going to breathe fire. You're never going to breathe AIDS. Like, what are you talking about? Like, well, hopefully you never breathe AIDS.
Oh
But
God! Wow, I was not either. Not
I was
even.
sorry, bro. When you said that thing of like the breath of love comes from the breath of flames, I was like, really, bro? So you want her to get people HIV? Like,
Oh man, you know that's legit. Like my only nitpick with Demon Slayer, I think.
I
It's
got
just
plenty, but that's not what we're here for today. So,
yeah, that's true. But that's my first pick is Demon Slayer. As like I said, just for what it's done for the anime community, I had to give it a spot.
I ain't mad at it.
But what about you? Who's your first pick? Who's your first
Uh,
draft pick?
Mine would actually have to be Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, I know you're not
Okay,
really a fan of the series, or at least I don't think so. You never finished the anime, did you?
I didn't. I don't know why. It just didn't click with me. I don't understand it. Like, cause like the premise is cool, the characters are cool. So I'm not really understanding why I just didn't. It didn't click with me the way other shows did. I actually do want to watch it again just to give it another chance. I do think I can enjoy it. 'Cause there were certain parts I did like,
Yeah,
but
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Maybe
The thing that makes me laugh is like, because you know everybody is like, oh, when I see Jujutsu Kaisen, I immediately got Bleach vibes, and I did too. Well, actually, I actually got Hunter x Hunter vibes when I first heard about and read Jujutsu Kaisen. But it always just made me laugh because that's how people look at Jujutsu Kaisen is how I looked at Black Clover because they're like, oh, I got Naruto. I was like, I see this man with a family. I don't know about y'all, but I don't remember.
I think the Naruto comparisons happened with you look at Gojo and Kakashi, and then that's where it kind of started.
Yeah, so I just remember everybody was like, no, because like for me, everybody I knew, they was like, I was getting Bleach from Jujutsu Kaisen. I was like, okay, I was getting Hunter x Hunter, and that's where I was getting, but whatever. And then it was like everybody got Bleach from Jujutsu Kaisen, but then like I was the only one that was getting Bleach from Black Clover. You know, like big ass sword, family. You know what I'm saying? So I
Is
was
that the criteria to compare it to Bleach? So you must have a family.
Ichigo had a family. What you want me to do? He had a pops. His mom was dead, but he had two sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, so pretty much, Mike, what you're saying is okay. If the protagonist has a family, Bleach. If he doesn't have a family, Naruto.
no, because I mean, Gon technically has. Well, I mean, he has his
I would
mom.
say like I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter, but I know that Gon's father was like
Balance.
non-existent.
Yeah. So,
Like
But now, so that's all I'm saying. You know, it's like it's this thing of everybody got this feeling of Bleach, and it was like, oh wow, new age Bleach, da 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 da, and it took over. You know what I mean? It got close. This is like the closest thing that's gotten to Demon Slayer's popularity. Um, as it didn't reach it. You know, I like I said, Demon Slayer is once in a lifetime spectacle. I don't think anything else is going to ever touch that type of landscape. But yeah, when it comes to Jujutsu Kaisen, man, like it took over the character. Everybody liked the characters. You know, Gojo was cool. Nobody really had any issues with Yuji. Nobara, I thought more people would dislike Nobara, but thankfully, you know, they didn't exaggerate her tendencies. I saw some people that didn't like her, but it wasn't like a overwhelming thing. Megumi, you know, Megumi got hit with the Sasuke clone thing, but that's just par for course now. So, but you know, people still like Megami for the most part. The world obviously is very interesting with curses and sorcery power, you know, which is funny because everybody make fun of that. Like Jujutsu Kaisen's name in English is sorcery fight.
Really? Okay,
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so it's like this. It's just like this thing about it that you know people make fun about it. You know, you had the small little minority of people who was like it's a Naruto. It's like, but nobody paid them that much attention. And then
I
yeah,
mean, the only
the
thing that makes it similar to Naruto, I guess, is maybe just the team format. That's pretty
no,
much
I
it.
mean the creator has mentioned that like Sukuna was his like Sukuna. He got the idea from Sukuna. He got the idea of Sukuna from Kurama with no redeeming arc or no saving Kurama, whatever.
The only difference is like one is not the main protagonist's best friend at all.
Ever. So yeah.
Like, man, I still remember this one part. I remember this. Something happened to Yuji, and Sukuna like didn't even try to help. Actually, laughed at him, and it's basically like "fuck you." I forgot what part that was, but I remember it happening.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like the anime came in, everybody loved it. I actually started, and you know, we actually have this on the podcast. So everybody try to say I'm capping. I'm not. Um, I'm not pulling a LeBron James. I saw it coming. No, I started Jujutsu Kaisen about a year before the anime came out. And I liked it. But I remember I told you I was like, it was kind of hard to talk to people about the manga because people were like the manga doesn't get good until like 50 so chapters and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, when the anime come out, y'all gonna switch up y'all too. And I remember thinking that Jujutsu Kaisen was going to have the Demon Slayer effect, or possibly be bigger than the Demon Slayer effect because it was blowing up off of the trailer. Like everybody started getting into it from the trailer, you know, like the manga and stuff. And then the anime came out, and obviously, you know, the anime was a really big hit. Everybody loved it. You know, then the movie came out. Everybody loved the movie. So it brought some of the hype that kind of went away for a bit back. And season 2 starts in July, I think.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah, I think it starts in July. I might be wrong, but I think it's July. But yeah, because that's when Bleach comes back. So it's like Jujutsu Kaisen, Bleach, and something else. But yeah, so you know, just the fact that like you know it took over. There's merchandise for it everywhere. Everybody wants Gojo posters. People cosplay as Yuji. Um, People cosplay as Megami. And you know, actually, the and not to backtrack on the Demon Slayer thing. That's the other thing I want to say with Demon Slayer. Like the amount of people that were like doing things for Demon Slayer and the amount of merchandise Demon Slayer got for characters that had no information on it was wild to me. Because like think about people who are cosplaying Mitsuri 3 years before she even had her arc.
Man, you gotta give it to Demon Slayer. They have really cool character designs.
We still have no idea about Igoro, Gyome, Sanemi. I can't say his last name. I don't see anybody cosplaying Genya, which I thought was kind of fucked up. But I think Genya is like the one few of the fleshed out characters of the series. Tomioka, and that was off of like 1 or 2 showings. Shinobu, but you know, but it's like for Jujutsu Kaisen, you had people cosplaying the characters that you saw in season 1. Not that many manga characters, but definitely the characters in season 1.
Like
So
with Jujutsu
yeah,
Kaisen for me, like even though I didn't necessarily get into it, like you said, like it created such a huge splash. Maybe not on the same level as Demon Slayer, but it still created a huge impact.
it still got the
Like
close.
because you said it, you was hyping up Jujutsu Kaisen to me way before the anime dropped, and when it did, like I said, it was an explosion. Like to me, a little side note, I think the ending to season 1 is like one of my favorite anime endings. So if they ever did like a top 10 anime endings, that's probably gonna be in my. I don't know. I just love it. Like that's one thing I love about Jujutsu Kaisen was the way it ended. That shit was just so smooth.
Yeah, the ending is really good. I actually wasn't that big a fan of the opening. I didn't think it was bad. It like wasn't one I was about to put in my playlist or anything like that. So
I had to warm to the opening. Like at first I was like, yeah, it's okay, but then after like a few listens, I'm like, okay, that's actually is really good. But it wasn't one of those openings that just hooked me right away, like other people.
yeah, but yeah, and I don't know what else I could really say. It's just Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the thing that everybody is like, this is the next greatest thing, and it was pretty much planned by Shueisha from the jump, like, so that's kind of ironic to say. It's planned from Shueisha by the jump. It's released in Shonen Jump, but yeah, pun not intended. But yeah, so to jump on to the next thing, I'll let you do your next one, Curtis.
All right, next one, and I feel like this one will probably be more obvious for me than Demon Slayer. We named half of Black heroes because of the show. The one and only My Hero Academia. Still love it to this day. But not like My Hero Academia, like that's I put it here because it got some skin in the game now. Like the anime's
Fan
been out for a good little
service.
minute, and oh, shut up.
But I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you did.
What you mean, bro?
Uh-huh. We're gonna run this back. I'm here.
You hunted over there, bro.
Oh my god. But with My Hero, like I said, had a lot of skin in the game. There was a period of time I think My Hero was like the most popular shonen show
That might be
in
true.
shonen. Yeah, I think at least between seasons 1 through 3, I think that was like the peak of shonen was My Hero.
Well, I mean, in that time frame for like 2000, what would that be? 15 to 2016 or 17?
Yeah, and I think it still has a strong fan base even now. It's gotten a little more hate over the years, but I think it's still maintained its popularity to a certain degree.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the peak of My Hero is probably, for me at least, season 3. That's
Yeah.
when they went to that camping trip, and then afterwards it was like All for One versus All Might, which still I love that fight. It wasn't much to it. I love it.
Right, isn't that season 2?
Not season 3. Because season 2 is the sports festival. And then there's sports festival and the staying here.
Okay, there we go. That's all.
Yeah.
Skipping my mind. I don't know. I was at a hype of My Hero would be season 4.
That's during the license exam.
Then the overhaul art.
Overall, still one of my favorite villains. I wish he had more screen time, but hey, he did his job. Like, I think his introduction was like a shift in tone in My Hero. Because My Hero had his serious moments, but introducing Overhaul really kind of like raised the stakes a bit. That's the first time we actually really saw someone get murked in the show.
True. But I think
RP, what, Magne, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just don't. I feel like for when we say the new big three, I'm more so trying to base it off of like this current generation. So I'm doing things like 2018 on forward. Like 2018 going into 2019, going into the new decade, pretty much.
Okay, I guess for me, I'll put My Hero in like the One Piece slot of my big three, like the show that's been around the longest. It's probably still gonna be here when Demon Slayer and my next choice. Well, actually, my next choice technically already stopped. It'll come back eventually, but it already stopped. But with My Hero, just the longevity of it, it kind of reminds me of One Piece with its longevity. So I'll kind of like put it in that role.
I think you're going a bit crazy with One Piece longevity. There's not too many things that got One Piece longevity.
I mean, like it has like longevity in the modern like times. 'Cause I don't think
I would say,
longevity of One Piece can happen again. If it does, I'll be surprised.
I would say more so like it's the Naruto longevity more so. It'll be here for a while though. So I don't know. The anime, the manga's in like its 8th or 9th year. I think it's I think it's 8 years, going on 9, and the anime is 7.
Yeah, because the anime came out in what 2016, 2017, around that time frame.
I think it no should have been 2015 because it came out in 2014.
I
This
thought it
is
came
why
out later than that.
this is why Google is a thing.
Oh, let me look this up then. My Hero Academia. Let's see. Manga 2014, anime 2016.
16. So yeah. So it's going on.
Okay.
It's going on. What was it 2013? So yeah, 7 years. 2023.
Yeah.
I said 2013.
Yeah, I think My Hero. We think maybe like what 2 more seasons left in it. Maybe 3.
I could probably see them doing a third. I hope they don't do no more movies. 'Cause that really impacted season 5, and then season 6 just got impacted by the amount. Season 6 just got a bad rep just because My Hero came out with a lot of competition.
Yeah, like a lot.
So it was a lot of resources that were being pulled away, and My Hero sadly was on the bottom end of the total poll. I mean, first time it happened in a while, or for probably the first time ever for My Hero to be kind of put at the lower end of the hype train for an anime season. But
I still think it held its own. It wasn't as hyped as previous seasons, but I think it still kind of maintained like that popularity. It's just like you said, like there were just other things pulling from it.
I think they should have just reallocated their resources on different episodes. Like they should have planned that out better. Like I don't know if they just thought Bleach and Chainsaw Man weren't going to be grabbing up animators left and right, and also Mob Psycho. But yeah, so I'm like, hey, y'all should have like the Miracle stuff was cool and everything, but y'all could have sacrificed that for the Shigaraki stuff.
Do you still think the fan base is super toxic?
I mean,
That's always the inside joke.
I don't know. Any anime fan base is super toxic in some way, so I ain't too much putting stock in that.
And last question, and now we can switch over to your next one. Little off-topic thing. If you had a quirk, whose quirk would you want?
Quirk what I want? So I don't know. I'll think about it later.
I guess I already know mine off the bat. Overhaul's quirk, hands down. I still think it's my favorite quirk. There's a part of that kind of would love to have one for all, but I ain't type of my body to do that. Like it's going to the gym now is torture. Like having to push myself even further just to be able to act, use the power properly in the hospital.
What quirk would I want in the series like that's already existing?
Yeah.
Oh, Bakugo's quirk.
Of course.
That shit is cool, bro. No matter how you feel about it, that shit is cool, bro. Like,
it is, and the way he used it is pretty cool too.
Exactly, bro. Like, I definitely would need to get my shoulders up, but which is funny. You remember my friend Corey? I always tell him that he should cosplay Bakugo because we actually saw the second My Hero movie together. It was me, him, my boy Jake, and somebody else, and. Because you remember it was the little girl that was real rude to Bakugo at first, but then later on, once he started helping her, she was nice to him.
Yep.
We got out the movie theater. He was just like, "Yeah, you saw Bakugo put that little bitch in her place," and I was just like, "I don't know, man. I think she saw them shoulders."
Bro, I kid you not. I always go back to like the beginning of the fight between Midoriya, Bakugo, and Nine, where like they're actually working together. That's one of the things I love seeing. And it was like one little moment. I don't know what. With me nowadays, but it's like little tiny moments that always gets me. Is when Nine blows Midoriya back, and then Bakugo grabs him to do a counter.
Nine blew Midoriya's back. I knew that ship was.
Jesus Christ, man! Hey, man, this ain't Bakugo and Kirishima, all right? Which honestly, that probably is a ship that realistically could happen. Just saying, just.
Nah, bro,
That
I
could
think Mina
happen.
secured. I think Mina got that bag secured.
You know what? No, fair point. Fair
We
point.
already had our stupid episode, but
Go ahead, go ahead with your next pick. Who you
all right,
drafting?
cool. So get back to let's get back to some PG stuff, okay? Back to some wholesomeness and talk about my next pick, which is definitely not wholesome at all. Chainsaw Man.
I was about to say, like, hey, ain't no way, ain't no way.
Yeah, Chainsaw. I mean, I honestly, and granted, now the manga is becoming much bigger in the mainstream alongside anime. It's not too surprising, but Chainsaw Man was big as a manga with only like 3 volumes out in America. Like, I kept hearing its name everywhere. Oh, Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man, Chainsaw Man. And I was like, what type of title is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, what? Who decided to call the series Chainsaw Man and think that was cool? And then, I'm seeing panels of it, and I'm seeing, people. I was never hearing people talk about the story. I was just hearing people be like, "Oh, Denji's a great protagonist, and Aki is the second protagonist." I still can't say that D word for dude. Deuteranologist, deuteragonist, whatever. Second protagonist, Power's best girl. I do think Power's hilarious, but
Wait, you think
you
Power's
know,
best girl? No, no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I think she's hilarious. I say she's best girl, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I really don't like too many of the female cast. I don't find any of them really all that. Like Makima always just freaked me out. I didn't think she was all that attractive.
Really?
No, I just thought she always had this creepy feel to her, bro. I mean, you'll find out later why, but yeah,
I mean, I already feel that now. Like, don't get me wrong, I love her, but not like she's attractive. But I just know she's just there's something that seems so off. Like, for okay, I'm only anime guy, so I don't know anything about the manga. I don't know what she does. But just for me, she just screams villain. Like for her introduction, just screamed villain to me.
yeah, and I
I don't know.
mean, you'll find out later. I mean, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know. Chainsaw Man's anime in Japan did not. It was not a hit. Don't know
So
why.
surprising.
Actually, the director had to step down.
Really?
Yeah, the director for Chainsaw Man had to step down. He's not doing it next. Whenever season 2 comes out. Season 2 is happening, but yeah, he's not gonna be the director. And I thought he did a fantastic job. So I don't know, but so Japan, not so much. Here in America, though, everybody love Chainsaw Man. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. You see that much Chainsaw Man merchandise?
What was Deji's like? To Deji, dingy. I always want to say Deji. Like once say dingy, it just sounds like an insult.
It sounds like you're saying dingy, like you dirty, dingy mother. You know what I'm saying? But no,
That's what I'm saying. Like my brain just wants to say Deji just because it sounds better.
I don't know that it sounds better, but now that I'm thinking about it though, it's like with Chainsaw Man, I see, because like Chainsaw Man was being showcased in bookstores before the anime. Like they only had like 4 volumes to put on it, but they had them 4 volumes out there.
Okay.
So
What was Dingy's Pokemon's name?
what was Denji's Pokemon's? Oh, Puchita.
Puchita. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm glad
I'm sorry, but that's low key. That low key like would fit right in Pokemon.
I'm very glad I put that together. But but that's what I'm saying though. It's like I see some stuff in Puchita, yeah, but I don't really. I see people doing like cosplays every now and then, but I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it didn't pop off as much as I thought. But either way, everybody loved the anime, so that's enough. But yeah. So I remember when it came out, I kept hearing about it. I didn't actually read it until much later, probably like because the original run was only like 2 years for part one, and I think I came in like a couple months before part one ended, and I caught up pretty quickly. And I thought it was fun. I thought I won't say mindless fun, but I didn't really see the and also another thing for this, we're not really talking about like exactly our favorites, just what we think is like big three for the anime community in general. So I just think for like how everybody was in love with Chainsaw Man, and I was like, I'm having the time of my life reading this. But if you ask me to tell the story, I'm kind of I'm kind of at a blank. So it's a lot of fun and everything like that. And then when the anime came out, everybody loved it. It was a lot of stuff. There's the people that pieced out that caused emotions and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that for the amount the anime was loved, and for the amount that the manga was loved, and how much it still is supported by a lot of people, I just think it's one of the ones that should be considered like big three for this generation.
Okay, I think the reason why I didn't put it on my list is actually one of the opposite reasons why of like my hero. Like I feel like Chainsaw Man just doesn't have enough skin in the game just yet. Like it only has one season. I think it's like one situation is like let everyone calm down. It's only one season. Let's see what else it's got before we're going too crazy. So I think I will be comfortable putting it in my big three list once I see more of it. But until then, I think it's too new. But one thing I do like about Chainsaw Man actually, I really enjoyed the opening. And I remember I saw a video where actually the opening itself actually references a lot of movies. And I won't go back and watch the video again because I literally almost shot for shot each scene in the opening is referencing a movie in some way, shape, or form, or a TV show in some way, shape, or form. And
Yeah,
one thing I do, but
no, go ahead, finish what you were saying.
I was gonna say another reason why I also like Chainsaw Man is just like you said, fun. Like my boy reached his goal like in just a couple episodes. He has a goal actually, unlike Ichigo, but he has a goal and he succeeded in that goal.
Okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Whatever. Touching titties is definitely more important than protecting the people you love, but whatever.
I mean, like, hey, it's like he had a drive. Ichigo didn't have a drive. It expired to be something. Did you expire? Touch titties. Be the titty master.
Okay, that was pretty fun. I'll give it that.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I hope I don't get hate from the Bleach community. I'm sorry, y'all. y'all eating right now. Like, y'all, let me have this joke. Y'all eating good right now.
Which is kind of funny because I can see some people trying to be like, "Well, Bleach should still be a part of the new Gen Big Three." It's like, no, stop, please. It's not new.
That's like saying like if we were to make this list, One Piece should, since it's still ongoing.
Yeah, I can see somebody saying something dumb like that, but yeah, I don't know. The last thing I'll say when it comes to Chainsaw Man is just like I think for how people want stories to go nowadays, where they want darker stories where characters are dying left and right, and it's kind of bleak or whatever. I think that's just one of the other reasons why that I would put it on there, just because people want that's what people want, man. They don't want characters surviving. They don't want characters making it to the end and stuff like that. They just want stakes and realism or whatever.
Well, hey man, I talk about Game of Thrones all the time, and Game of Thrones, even with the final season, is still one of the best shows ever made, and people died in it. Like it had those stakes, but it still maintained a really good story. I think you can kill off characters and still maintain a good story as long as the deaths make sense and realistic to a certain degree. So if I think a character death is bad when it's strictly used for shock value for the wrong reasons. You can have death for shock value, don't get me wrong. But if it's like just out of nowhere, yeah, that's what I think is horrible. Like you look at, and the show's been out for a long time, so if you haven't watched The Walking Dead yet, I'm so sorry, minor spoiler. When Glenn died in Walking Dead, there was actual like build up to it. Like they built up Negan, and when Rick was killing Negan's people, he did that out of retaliation. So it was building towards it. It was still very shocking how they did it. Actually, I thought Glenn was going to survive, but when it happened, it was shocking. But I was like, you know what? It makes sense. Y'all killed a bunch of Negan's people. he's bound to kill one of y'all eventually. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's just like for this current generation, wanting more darker stories or wanting more. I don't know. The thing for me that makes me laugh with Chainsaw Man, 'cause, you'll see people say like other shows or other series have cringe dialogue and stuff like that. And I remember reading some things that are said in Chainsaw Man. I was just like, did people find this funny or did they not find this cringy? And I look up, I would look at some other people's posts and they'd be like, oh, this was hilarious. And I'd be like, okay, I thought it was kind of cringe, but
I thought the
maybe I'm
dialogue
just
was cringe.
some things. I mean, some of the anime changed up how some things were said, but in the manga version, there was like some things that were phrased, and I was just like, I didn't really laugh at that part. I do think it's hilarious, but it was just some way certain things were said that some things I just was like, whatever.
I also thought the way that they spoke to each other was actually pretty realistic. I could see people kind of talking in the real world this way.
Not too many people talk like Power, bro. That's not.
Okay, but minus power. No. There are some people out there that actually do talk like power. Now that I think about it, there are some crazies out here, bro.
I don't know too many people that says tis, but
You mean that? Actually, that's a great word to use. Tis. Like,
tits.
what?
But moving on. uh Yeah, so Chainsaw Man definitely is one of them, but that's my second one. Kurt, what's your next one?
All right, next one, and you know me, got to represent the Black Heroes brand. Next one on my list, Black Clover, which is actually very surprising. If you would have asked me this shit a few years ago, Black Clover wouldn't have been nowhere on my list. But after giving it a second try, watching it, fell in love with it. I put Black Clover here, and I'm glad I brought up Bleach earlier because to me, Black Clover is like the Bleach of my big three. And also, I put it here because I think Black Clover reached a certain level of success despite the shortcomings and despite like everything that was happening. It still maintained a certain amount of success. I mean, you can say what you want about every show we've listed so far. Black Clover is the only one I've seen where the anime opening was trending #1 worldwide on YouTube. Never seen that before until Black Clover. Maybe it happened. I didn't see it, but I remember seeing it for Black Clover.
I don't know. I didn't really pay that too much attention.
I just came across. I was on YouTube and I was like, I was looking on the trending page and it was there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that. But nah, but no, finish what you were saying. Sorry.
I'm like, no, you're fine. The reason why I kind of want to compare Black Clover to Bleach real quick is because I feel like it's gonna get the Bleach treatment one day. You know, Bleach ended, and you know the jokes about it, and then it came back, and now it's like one of the best things ever. I think the same thing's gonna happen to Black Clover. Like, the anime ended 2 years ago? What's that? 2 years now or one? No, it's been 2 years, and even after that, before I finished that thought, even after that, I saw that people were still watching it even after it ended. Like, it never left the popular section on Crunchyroll. But I do think when it comes back, it's going to have that same treatment as Bleach, where like it looks like the prodigal son has returned, and everyone's going to love it. And I think it's finally going to get its flowers that I think it deserves.
Yeah. I mean, this is another one where I'm more so like, it's part of the kind of the older is older in the generation because the anime came out 2017, manga's 2015, so just one of the ones that I'd more so say like is not part of this current generation, but maybe it is, maybe it's not. I mean, it has grown. I mean, from where it was in 2017 to where it is now. I mean, I still think Shueisha tried to set it up for failure, and I just don't think they thought it would survive like it has. So yeah, I mean, calling it the new age Bleach isn't exactly wrong, except it's kind of like a reverse order where a lot of people fell out of love with Bleach and a lot of people fell in love with Black Clover. So
I can agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a reverse order. because like once you start getting into the heart of the series, it's people, because and since it got hit with that annual, and that's what I'm saying, like it's not too many shows I can see surviving the Black Clover treatment. You know what I mean? Like, I can see some things that can not be as spectacular in like the animation department, and people still like it. But I can't see too many things that would be able to release 50 episodes and people keep with it. With animation challenges and art challenges and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I agree. Because as much as I love Demon Slayer, I don't think it would have survived the Black Clover treatment. I think My Hero would have stayed afloat, but I think it would have took a massive hit. But yeah, I
like
think you're
these
right. I
things
feel like a lot
definitely
of
wouldn't be where
shows
they
wouldn't
are
survive.
now. Yeah, I don't like these series wouldn't be where they are now if they had to go through what Black Clover went through. I know some people would be like, "Oh, that's Cap. Black Clover still has blah 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 blah," but it's like it's still talked about, and it's not like a thing of, and it's not like a Boruto situation where Boruto is carrying on the legacy of Naruto. So a lot of Naruto fans have stuck with it due to that legacy and due to the character still being there. This is something all on its own merits, and people still love it. People are excited for the movie to come out next month. Shit, I'm excited for the movie to come out next month. The mobile game actually today released. I think it released in Korea. And it was like the South Korea, and it's like the number one downloaded game in South Korea.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. Um, yeah, I mean the
But I
anime.
think
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say like I think like I'm looking back at Black Clover as a whole, and there was some things I didn't like, but I think overall like it just has some really good moments and some really good like fights and character developments of some of the characters.
I mean, to be honest, the main things that people don't like about a lot of characters in Black Clover are just things that the anime exaggerated.
Yeah, and unfortunately, me being like the anime only between the two of us, like it was hard to like because I know you told me the stuff with Noel doesn't happen in the manga. The stuff with Ghost, I'm still team fuck Ghost. It doesn't happen as often in the manga.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted to fuck Ghost. I mean, hey, he's a handsome guy. I can understand.
Fuck you. But like, nah, man, I'm sorry, but like watching it, like Ghost was just the worst. Like I hated him. I hated when he was on screen because it was getting very like creepy for a little a little while.
No, like I said, like it was the thing of just exaggerate. It's kind of like when I go back and find, like when I read back and read Bleach, and I noticed how much they changed up our exaggerated characters. Like Ruki and Ichigo still had their back and forths, but a lot of their moments were spread out to a lot of other characters. Orihime was much more involved in the beginning than it was led on by the anime. So yeah, like these, and that's what I'm saying. Like Shueisha really should be doing everything they can to make up for what they did to Black Clover, and they're just not. You know.
They should because like even though an anime guy, there's one part from the manga, and I won't talk too much about it, but there's a part that happened in the manga that you can make the argument as one of the best plot twists ever. You can kind of put that in the conversation because when I saw it, I couldn't believe it myself. Kind of threw me through a loop a bit.
Yeah, I think the main thing that helps with the anime being in that type of format is the way they were able to expound upon a lot of things. So it let people get more invested into a lot of things that sometimes sometimes the manga didn't have the chance to fit in. I don't know whether or not that was by Tabata's choice or by Shueisha's choice, because there's some times where like the editor for your manga would be like, "Oh, don't worry about that. The anime will cover that." Because I know there's some things that Oda talks about. Where he's like, "Oh, I wanted to put this in there," but then my editor was like, "Nah, that'll take up too much space. Just leave that for the anime. We'll write that off to the anime and let the anime handle that." So whether or not that's the case, I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I think for this generation, I just don't think it's the biggest. I mean, it's popular now, So it's gaining popularity as time goes on. I just personally wouldn't have put it in mind due to like time frame, and I just think that for some of the other shows that have come up, they kind of have eclipsed Black Clover in popularity.
I understand that, but I will say this, like, is it bad that every so often I'll go back and watch the Captain fight?
No,
Like every blue moon, I'll just like go back and watch it.
that's an amazing episode. Seeing and everything was perfect in that episode. Like that episode was animated damn near perfectly.
It was, and like none of the Captain, no one was like a weakling. Everyone did their thing in the fight.
I don't know. The thing I
Oh,
always appreciated the anime for the most was all the love that the Spade arc introduction got. Because the manga version, a lot of people turned on Black Clover for that, but in the anime version, a lot of people I really didn't see any critique of the Spade at the beginning of the Spade arc in the anime version, and I just like it left people wanting more.
it's crazy. Like whenever people don't like a certain aspect of the manga when it comes to the anime, like people just love it. Like, I've seen that happen like a good few times. Like I remember, like I guess a good example, people hated Obito Naruto during the war arc. When the anime came out, it was like, oh, this is like top tier villain. Or like in Boruto with the whole thing that happened with Kurama, that people hated that for obvious reasons.
They completely changed that
Anime
shit.
loved it.
They completely changed that shit. I went and looked at it because we were talking about it one time, and because I saw the thing, it was like Kurama's dead, and I'm like, what? I went to look at it. They completely changed like the way they talked, everything. They changed everything about that. Only thing they didn't change was that nigga still died.
Yeah, that one thing that it couldn't change.
They changed that whole tone. So no, that's a bit different.
Oh my god. But like cause when Black Clover does return, and let's say we were ever like to come back and like talk about like Big Three again, like would you ever say like it has the potential to be the Big Three of I guess this generation? Because by the time it comes back, it'll be a whole new generation. So I guess where is it at? Like, can you see it being Big Three material?
I mean, I wouldn't mind putting it as Big Three material. I just don't know if it would have I just don't know if it would be able to boom with the. You gotta remember, a lot of people nowadays, it's still hard to get people to watch 170 episodes of anything. So, like, when it comes back, I think it'll probably come back like, what, the movie's coming out June. So, what's it, 2023 now? Let's say the anime comes back like 2025, and people are starting to see it again, and they're getting into it. It's possible because you can just binge it. People say what they like, what they dislike, blah blah blah. So, and I think if it comes back on a seasonal schedule where the anime gets time to work and fully animate things without being stressed for resources or hands on deck, then yeah, possibly.
Okay. And just last thing on Black Clover, then we go to your last pick. And I just want to say, Black Clover is one of the only few shows where like every opening like hit for me. Like, I don't know why, just every opening hit really hard for me.
No, I did not like the second opening or the third opening. Everybody loves the third opening.
You didn't.
I didn't care about the third opening at all.
Like
I like the 11th opening.
As you should, because that is a bop. But I will say that even with My Hero, like there's only one My Hero opening that I think can beat Black Clover openings, and that was Odd Future. That's the only one. I know if your favorite was opening 4. Yep, they're with licenses in. Yep. That's the last thing. I just think like as far as openings go, Black Clover's openings. Yes.
I can't remember the opening name that I remember. I was like, yep. Ah, there we go. Make my story. Yes.
It took you a minute to get it. Hey man, hey, we've all been there. Like like sometimes it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just don't know, and it hits you. Brain blast out.
Jimmy Neutron. But so are we done or? Move to the next thing.
Yep. Now here is your final draft pick in the in the anime draft.
Yeah. So my
Big three
final
draft.
thing, which I think, this one shouldn't be too surprising. I know that. I mean, season two didn't get talked about too much, but season one still had a huge thing. So, and it's kind of another one. So, my third one is Spy X Family or Spy Family. Are you supposed to say the X? God, that X just needs to go away. Why don't people just say Spy and Family? Like, why don't?
Always say it's a Spy X family.
Because it's
It
like
sounds
Hunter X
cool.
Hunter. Like people like you're supposed to just say Hunter Hunter. It's like then why? Whatever. Hunter by
It's
Hunter.
just look cool. It's look.
Yeah, so it's not Spy Multiply Family. But yeah, so
I'm family. Spy Time family equals what, Mike?
with Spy Mathematical Sign Family, it's,
Jeez.
the Spy Family is this whole thing of just it's like the pre Chainsaw Man, because it was another one where I saw everybody talking about the manga, and I'm seeing the manga displayed like only the first 2 volumes, and I'm like, okay, what is this? I'm seeing people talk about like, oh, I love Spy X Family, I love Spy Family, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, I love Anya, Lloyd is funny, yours great. I'm like, okay, well, what is it? So I start reading it, and the premise is just it just seems like a bad dad joke waiting to happen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, son, listen to this one. A spy, a telepath, and an assassin walk into a bar. And then, like
Oh,
some crappy punchline. That's what it always seemed to me. I was like, wow, this premise, whoever thought of this premise might be a genius.
okay.
Because,
I'm so glad that you finished that thought, because for a split second I thought you was about to compare Spy X family with Chainsaw Man. I was about to look at you really weird right now. I'm like, how?
no. I'm just saying, like, the
I
way
made this
how
comparison.
popular it was as a manga by itself. Like,
Okay.
people were constantly like talking about it, and I think it had less volumes in America than Chainsaw Man. Like I think it only had 2 when I saw it like popping up everywhere. And
Sheesh.
yeah, and it's like the story is wholesome, it's fun, it's like an adventure, and I think that's what kind of helps it out the most. Like you really don't know where we're going, but you're here for the ride. So I think for a lot of people, 'cause like with a lot of these new generation series, like I said, with like Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff, they want death, carnage, destruction, blah 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 blah. But there is an element that's gone of just enjoying the characters and then just enjoying everyday life. And so, excuse me, Spy X Family brought that back. It's like seeing Lloyd doing his missions, but then next thing you know, he has to do the missions and try to spend time with his fake family. You're trying to enjoy her family life, but understand that she's still an assassin. Anya going to school with the job of befriending Damien, and but still, she's just having fun with her best friend Becky. Can we talk about the part in I think it was like episode 4 or so when they were walking, like after her and Becky became friends, and then they were walking somewhere, and then Becky just like jumped on her back. I was like, oh God, I hope I don't have a daughter, but if I ever do, I hope she's like as precious as these two.
God, there was one part I wish I could remember what happened. It was like I think Anya was getting in an argument with Damien, and then Becky stepped in, and she low key insulted Anya. And Anya's face was so hilarious. Faces throughout the whole show. It's
Yeah,
just hilarious.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's fun. It's funny. It's fun. It's a smooth ride, and it's just something to enjoy. I mean, later on in the manga, there's like one pretty violent part that's with Yor, and I think it does a really good job of keeping that essence of, hey, we're fun, but don't forget we turn up too. So when Yor has to go into assassin mode, she can. When Lloyd has to go into spy mode, he can. But I think the anime showed up, and season 1 had everybody hooked. I mean, it was a great season. It was fun. The animation was, fantastic. The art quality was fantastic. But more importantly, they kept the heart of the series. So and a lot of things were just fun. Also, the opening was fire. Because actually, the people that did the opening for Kinemaru Sumo. So when I heard it, I was like, "Is that my boys? It's my boys." You know what I'm saying? The ending definitely is a bop. Like, you know the part of the ending where Anya, when they run into the house and then they do like the little quick dance thing and then they end it off by pointing at each other. Me, my sister, and my cousin did that so many times.
Oh my god!
It was
No.
so fun, bro. We did that so many times. Like we would see each other do the dance, do the point thing, and then everybody would look at us weird, and we would just be laughing.
But it's something you said earlier. With it being like more fun, wholesome. But don't get me wrong. Like I love my death, my destruction, my murder, my gore. Like off with his head type shit. But it was nice to just kind of sit back.
Like waifus. My violent waifu is bad, but you can like all this. You can like all this shit.
Hey man. Like it's two different levels of bad. Like you like the people that does the death, destruction, and murder.
But like, you're a villain guy. Hold up, you get to be a villain guy, but I can't like bad bitches. What's going on here? What are we really talking about?
Most of my
hold on. That was you Sasuke ass nigga. Support. You can support a terrorist, but I can't like Azula. Wait,
first of all, 11-year-old don't you come from my boy, all right? You leave Sasuke out of this.
Sasuke Jalal ass nigga can like these violent Shigaraki fans. Shigaraki Joker fan ass nigga, but me having
first of all, I like Shigaraki, but he's not like my absolute favorite now.
Me liking Azula as a kid though, because she had that charisma and that style and that flair.
Okay, first of all, if Avatar was down Nickelodeon, she would have murdered some folks. I'm pretty sure she probably did it. We just didn't even pay no attention to it.
And I definitely would have just been sitting there like, damn, she fine.
And I'm like, don't you like that chick named Ruby?
Who?
Cinder. You like Cinder?
I think Cinder fine. I think her design is fire. But my favorite is Emerald.
See, okay, I like seeing the death and destruction. You like the women who cause it. Better.
Bro, you can't be telling me the bitches don't be cool, man. Azula got one of the most iconic rude moments of all time, right? Just looking tough in her face and saying, "Oh, I know you can't see it, but I'm rolling my eyes." Bro,
her theme song is rip free in my head. I give you that. Like at the same time, I never saw her as waifu material.
I did, because I was like, "Hey, no, I ain't never gonna find a woman this badass in real life." With that amount of style and poise, and that's the thing, bro. They always be having poise. You know what? We're super off topic.
We are. I guess you have to get on me because I like my death and destruction.
But yeah, so when it comes down to, I actually think you were saying something about that, about wanting to enjoy like wholesome things too. But whatever. I
do. That's why I enjoyed Spy X Family. It was very wholesome. And it was fun. It felt fun, and that's sometimes you just need that, just fun. And I think, and it has its own stakes too, without the death and destruction, because now they have to fulfill this mission. They also got to kind of keep their identities a secret too. So it's like that tension there. And that's a nice little love story as well. You're reading it. She likes a little bit.
No, I'm saying from the jump, Aya knows both of their secrets, and it's like they're working hard to keep the secrets for somebody who knows it.
But she cheated.
And she's doing the best to keep, like, the fact that she hasn't spilled the beans yet is honestly amazing.
It's actually very true. You would have thought that she would just let it slip eventually.
But she hasn't.
Oh man. Like I feel like could you just tell them both hey, I know who you are,
No,
this is me.
She'd probably be concerned about being a liability.
But no, they could use her abilities for
justice. No, that's fucked up. You don't use a child like that. But yeah, so I don't think either.
Excuse me.
I don't think either of them would do that.
What the fuck? What? You mean tell me that my boy's in the hidden leaf get pieced up when they turn 13.
They're 13. Anya's like 5 years old.
I'm pretty sure some of these characters have seen some death and destruction when they was not even in the double digits. Itachi was the whole like war. He's like what 8?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. See, this is exactly why you're an overall fan. Wanted to abuse children. So horrible, Curtis.
Okay. Okay,
up.
I see how that is. You know, you got me on that one. Okay,
yeah,
that was a good one.
Set yourself up on
God. Man, got the freaking Luffy ass nigga.
Yeah, shouts to me.
But
but yeah, so that's what I mean. The end off my thing on Spy Family. Yeah, I just think like with the amount of popularity it drew in, the amount of people who could just come in and watch it and just have fun. You know, like it doesn't need to be a fight, doesn't need to be anything. You know, like some climactic final battle. It's just good fun. And I think we need shows like that. Just sometimes you want to just relax, get back, and laugh.
yeah, I think like with all the craziness you see with some shows, it is nice to kind of just kick back, relax, and just enjoy yourself without having to go through the emotional turmoil during it.
Yeah, so that's why I put it on there. This fact it was huge, it blew up. I mean, season 2 didn't get as much hype because it was much slower paced, but you know, people still love the mangas. The manga still sells great here in America, and the anime definitely is still a big hit. People still cosplay the characters and everything like that. I mean, it's really only 3 characters you can cosplay as, but people still love it. So yeah.
Actually, that what you just said has got me thinking. Like, do you prefer seasons of shows where it is kind of slower paced? I feel like with those type of seasons, it kind of lets you like kind of breathe a bit and kind of establishes things a bit more.
But me for season 2, it was more school stuff, and when it comes to Spy Family, I'm normally the things I like the most are your content because I mean yours waifu, Lloyd content, the spy stuff is like really cool, and the family content.
Oh
But
man.
I mean, Anya stuff at the school is hit or miss for me normally.
Okay.
I do
Well,
love Becky though. Becky is just like seriously. If I have a daughter, I hope she's like Becky, like a little bit of attitude, but still fun.
okay. Well, if you made it this far, that was our personal big threes. Leave a comment of your own big three, and then whose big three do you think you lean more towards, whether it's mine or Mike's? I
Well,
think we both got a decent list.
if you're listening to this on Spotify, like tweet us about it at But Heroes 5, right?
Yeah, cause I think it is. Cause I genuinely think we got a pretty decent list for the two of us.
I think so too. Oh, and also follow
Like,
our Instagram that Curtis knows the name too.
I'll put it in the description if you're a YouTube watcher. I don't know about heart, but I'll definitely put it in the description. And before we even move on, I do want to say I didn't read and say the reason why I didn't put it Spy Family on my list is kind of just copy and paste what I said about Chainsaw Man onto here. I just like it's a bit too new. Just it's not enough skin, man. I need more. Like Anakin said in Star Wars, I want more. So I just need to see more if I can truly establish it as big three material.
So you say. But let's move on to the next part, which
She hit me with a Star Wars joke again.
so for the last part of this segment, which I mean, I guess we'll go kind of fast. We're just gonna talk about like some, I guess, honorable mentions would be the way to put it.
Yeah, because these are shows like I hear around and like there's a big three conversation. Like if you're looking at the big three, people also say these shows. So I think the first one we talked about was Attack on Titan. Now, Attack on Titan is huge, massive. Like everyone loves Attack on Titan, but you, for some reason. And that pause.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what you want me to say about.
Hey man, like one day you will admit to me that you just don't like Attack on Titan. You will admit it to me one day.
One day they will actually finish the fucking show. How about that? How about that? Okay.
Oh, but which will happen first? You watching the last season or the Messi finishing the season?
I watched the last season for either of us get married. How about that?
Jesus Christ.
Watch, that shit still happens first.
Oh man, but like I know some people have like talked about Attack on Titan, like, oh, like that should be big three. Now, the reason why like I don't think it is actually is the reason why you said that you couldn't put My Hero and Black Clover on there. But for me, I think it's Attack on Titan just it's in that weird bubble for me. Like there was a long time I forgot it was Shonen, in all honesty. And it just felt like I felt like it was in that weird period, like on the tail end of the official Big Three era, along with like Fairy Tail, Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul, that's not Shonen, right? Or is it no? Is it Shonen?
It is. Yeah, yeah. It's a part of
Really?
yeah, it's part of Weekly Shonen magazine. It was released
That
in the
is
same magazine as Fairy Tail.
that is actually insane to me. With like the stuff that happened in the show, that torture scene is still that's Shonen. Like, see.
Yeah, so it's not a bad thing.
I kind of put it also like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I put it in that same camp. It was like those were the shows that kind of like was there during the waning years of the big three. It didn't have its like own like term at all. It was in that world of a bubble.
I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, I don't have any problem with it being shonen. Like you said, like I said earlier with My Hero Black Clover, like it's just to me, it's just like a different generation thing.
Okay.
I mean,
And well, okay. Well, I see. Before we go somewhere else, so Mike, what is your thoughts on Attack on Titan?
it's not much else to say. It's literally one of the bastions of anime. Like, it's one of the biggest things ever. It's
Like, do you just don't want to watch the last season because
ever
like you like it's too good? Like, it's just so good that you just don't want to like you don't think
because
you deserve to watch it
they won't
because
stop.
your eyes are worthy to watch its greatness.
No, when they'll actually end the story, I'll watch the thing. All these parts, it's like fucking JoJo's now, bro. Like, why is it 8 parts to the fourth season?
Bruh, like I don't know. Like it's frustrating, but at the same time, when they give me more, I'm like, okay, we're cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to make sure I catch it. I mean, not granted, I don't like the actual ending of it, but the everything with like Paradise Island is really just amazing. So, and I mean, I disagree with some stuff when it comes to like the rumbling and how some characters went out. Hanji Hanji having to sacrifice herself while everybody just stood around, just like, oh no, look, she caught fire. Oh shit, she caught fire. We should definitely be bouncing. You know,
I can
like,
wait. I think remember we talked about this. You wanted more people with her. Why?
yeah,
Before we go move
I thought
on.
what she did is a thing that could have just been like, I think she could have just went with us. I don't think those things would have caught us. Nah, she tripped up that one that was in the front. That definitely helped. Shouldn't we be
Well,
getting the place ready? Oh
I
yeah, we
think
should.
the anime did a way better job of really showing like what she did. Like it really did matter because like she took out a good chunk of them, like a good chunk of them. And by the way,
Like she tripped up.
excellent musical choice when they did this scene. Like the music was beautiful, everything. Oh, that's just perfect. I watch it like at least. I think when I first saw it, I watched that one part every day for like a week, maybe even 2 weeks. It was just so beautiful, like the way they did it. Let me stop fanboying over this because I just loved it.
But no, I still just think Attack on Titan. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is definitely. I think if you want to get somebody who's not into anime, but maybe they're into like more violent things, like I wouldn't say like somebody who's a fan like Marvel or something like that, but maybe somebody who's a fan of, like, or I guess you could say Death and Destruction and stuff like that. Like that's definitely a series you can. If you want somebody to know anime is serious and not just titties and ass, that's
Yeah,
definitely
because
it.
even with like all the death and destruction, my good old murder, um, it, it's just a good story. Like the writing is just amazing. Like the
Yeah.
twists and turns and like it was just really good. That's what I remember. What's his name? Giga, I think his name. He made the comparison to like Game of Thrones 'cause in many ways, besides the man-eating monsters of destruction, it kind of had that similar vibe. Of like the stakes are always at an all-time high, and the storytelling. It was great conversation.
Yeah, so I just think when it comes down to Attack on Titan, it's a bastion. It's there, but just I don't know if I could just say for it's more so like a timeless classic, more so than this generation big three.
No, I agree. I agree. Now the next one on our list is well, Boruto. Now I think some people say Boruto like like people say oh Boruto should get a pass just because of Naruto. I disagree. I'm one of the people that like will judge Boruto off his own merit, and I don't think it kind of hits. It doesn't hit enough to be part of the big three, in my opinion.
I
Like it
mean,
has moments,
Boruto,
but
and I mean, like I said, I'd actually have to sit down and like read the series, but to me, Boruto just felt like a cash grab, and I never really was like wanting anything else after Naruto because I just thought Naruto finished, and I was like, all right, cool, that's the series. But then they immediately like never doing Boruto, and then Kishimoto wasn't even really taking it over at that point. Like he wasn't writing it; it was more so somebody else doing stuff. I know he came back in later, but yeah. So for me, I was just like, eh, seems more so like a industry project than a person project. So I
I
just
would
never.
have preferred like Minato short series. Only like 2 seasons. I thought that would have been a good idea.
Yeah. So and then like it's a monthly manga. It's the anime is the anime got to be like 75%, if not 80% filler.
Which is crazy to me because I think one of the things that turned me away from Boruto, 'cause I actually watched a good few episodes before I started watching, was episode one where they showed Boruto and Kawaki, and they showed the destruction of Leaf and like all this shit, and you're hyped, and then it just goes back to when he's a child.
And they just showed
And
that in the manga. No, but they haven't even showed that part in the manga yet. They just showed like what leads to that in the manga, and that came out 6 years ago.
yeah, like I don't think they should have did that. Like I feel like they set the bar so high, and then it just crashed down almost immediately.
Yeah, so I just think with Boruto, like if somebody wants to put it there, because Boruto has his fan base and people like Boruto's amazing and stuff like that. So if you want to have it there, that's cool. But if you ask me, it definitely does not have. It feels like the Naruto fan base is trying to keep that alive, and not even the whole fan base, just a small section is trying to keep that alive. Whereas everybody else is just like, fuck it, we good.
It has like moments of greatness, but it just I don't. It just is. It can't keep up the momentum like other shows can.
Yeah, I don't
Like if
know.
something awesome will happen, and then the hype will just die down and stay dead until another hype moment happens. It's not consistent.
But then the crazy thing is, like the anime, like for some of the episodes I'd seen, because people talk down on Black Clover for its anime and stuff like that. And Boruto, honestly, some of the fights that people praise are not that great. It's so like some things just really aren't that great, and some of the art quality does drop. It either wasn't as egregious as Black Clover, or it wasn't as consistently happening as Black Clover because they had a bit more of a structured staff. But yeah, the anime itself isn't exactly like the highest quality tier either. So I don't know.
Recently, Boruto divided the anime community with what happened with Sarada. Like
Oh,
that
really? I don't even
divided
know what that
opinion.
was. I don't even know what that was about. I just saw something people didn't like her outfit or something.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about like recent.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. We talked about that. Yeah. Well, we won't spoil it.
Hmm.
Retro fandom and all.
Yeah,
To
I won't
me,
say anything, but like, that really divided like the opinion like a lot. Like everyone has something.
I'm starting to come around to it. I still have my grievances about it, but I don't have as it's not as big as I had it before. But
To me,
that's
I was cool with it just because it's one of those things. But like it was bound to happen eventually, and it was just with
that's the
her.
way. Yeah,
But
that's
we'll
the
see
way.
how it goes.
But
And I think the next show on our list is more well. You said it was Haikyuu. Yeah, Haikyuu.
Yeah, I think Haikyuu, and I know. Did you watch past season one? I finished season one. I didn't start season two.
I finished season one and I was halfway through season two.
Okay, so I still gotta. I'm probably gonna go back and watch season one, not episodes one and two. But
Are you sure so you can bash it some more? 'Cause, like you,
oh,
man, you bashed
I
IQ so bad back in the day. Like
was just
God, you bashed it.
one joke. Leave me alone. But
Like nah, man. Like you don't get that one joke. You milk that one joke.
I did. This nigga showed up with the cape, and I was like, "Get this gay ass shit out." Imagine that nigga in a cape, bro. What is this?
He was imagining him as a hero.
Oh my gosh, this is my king. Like, move, move.
Wait, so like you're cool with Madonna, fanboying over All Might, but like
All Might had an actual cape on his costume. That was not his. That was not his imagination of All Might. That's what he wore. Honestly,
I
All Might.
mean, you know, Asta admired Julius, and Julius kind of had like a, you know, well, I guess same thing.
He had a cape. That's just what he looked like. That was his outfit.
Little side note, man. Like Julius, like outfit was fire. Sorry, that's a little side
note. The outfit that Hinata imagined Kageyama in is the same thing as the breathing styles. Like the imagination was strong with this one. But
no.
There you go. There's your Star Wars joke. But yeah, I think when you look at Haikyuu in general, like they're like for this generation, there is no bigger sports anime outside of like Blue Lock, and I don't like Blue Lock definitely doesn't touch the popularity of what Haikyuu reached. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my favorite sports anime. I think it does the sports genre perfectly. Like, it hits all the check marks. So I like me personally, I'm still a much bigger fan of like Kuroko's Basketball, Hinamaru Sumo, Ao Aishi, and stuff like that. Like those series hooked me immediately. Whereas Haikyuu, I kind of had to like build up into really enjoying it. So, but that's me. For the community, it's a godsend. So, you know what I'm saying? So I just think
for me, like I always put sports anime like in its own brackets. And that's why I never really even consider it big three material. But I guess if one was big three material, it would be Haikyuu just because of just how big it became. I feel like a lot of people got into volleyball because of the show. And I really enjoyed it. Actually, one of the opening I love now. Like, if we really did do another top 10 anime openings, I think my list would change. Like, okay, if we were to do another one, a whole different top 10, it would be in that top 10. And then make a new one from scratch, but I put in the ones we put previously, it would be there. It was just so good. I think all the openings were actually really good.
Yeah, I like some of those Haikyuu openings. I listened to some of them. I gotta go back and re-listen to them.
I think well, I don't know about the show. It wasn't like it was over the top. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as over the top. Like Kuroko Basket wasn't like too over the top.
It didn't have any. Like Kuroko's Basketball was more so on like superhuman athlete abilities. You know what I mean? It's just not the same in that type of vein with Haikyuu, where it's like a freak of nature in Haikyuu is a believable freak of nature in life, like somebody with great athletic ability, and that's what I think it helps it so much. Like its realism helped it just draw people in. The cast is funny, you know, and like I said, it just does everything right when it comes to sports anime. And for a lot of people who haven't really seen that much sports anime, or if it's your first one and the first one you check out is the one that checks all the boxes, then yeah, I can definitely see why is that. But that is a older anime.
Yeah. Also, like being a short king myself, I relate to Hinata a lot.
Sure. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I mean, Haikyuu came out. Haikyuu was older than both. Haikyuu's older than I think Naruto, Boruto, and not Naruto, My Hero, Boruto, and Black Clover. So I think that's 2014.
Yeah. Because when did the manga end? It was a couple years ago, right?
Manga ended 2018. because it started in 2009 and ended in 2018, so it almost made it 10 years.
Okay. Okay. Wow,
So
that is insane to me. Like, that's the thing. Like, a show about volleyball like lasted that long.
yeah, and you know, people love it. I think the anime is going to end off in a movie. I know some people don't like that fact because it's supposed to like rush a lot of stuff, but I mean, hey, it's going to end out with a bang for a lot of people. So I think it's great. But yeah, I just think that when you really factor in, you know, like hype for this generation, that is definitely one of the shows that would be like, if you ask somebody what's some of their favorites, that would definitely be in the conversation for a lot of people.
I agree. I agree. Now, before we end things off, I do have one last question for you, and it's like a little bonus thing for your big three. Your MCs from each of your shows. How you think it would be if they did a crossover with all three together?
I think that would be very weird for Anya. I think that would be very weird for Anya because she would be like, what do you two want with me?" And
One thing that made me pick my big three was like I can see Midoriya, Asta, and Tanjiro like together. Like that would be such a cool crossover. I think they will generally be friends. They'd be good friends, and just oh man, it'd be so beautiful to see them all like fight together.
yeah, but you're talking about involving a 5-year-old with a 15 to 17-year-old
I
hanging
thought
out.
you was going to like bring in Lloyd. Like I'm sorry,
I didn't. I mean, technically, Anya is the main character of that series.
damn it.
And even still,
But
though, you
yours,
want to have a 25-year-old man hanging out with a 15 or 17-year-old guy? What are they supposed to do? And they all and Lloyd's not socially and like I won't say socially inept. He's a spy, but he doesn't know how to hang out with teenagers. You don't want to hang out with teenagers, especially like one
I mean,
guy.
hey, that would make it funny though.
You're gonna have one guy who's just like, by the way, I want to go watch these. Do I want to go get some porn mags? And another guy who's gonna be like, you got a big cursed spider on your shoulder. Let me just punch it and hopefully not break your arm at the same time. The one thing I can say though, if Lloyd had to hang out with Yuji, it would pretty much be like hanging out with Yor, just not as enjoyable for him, I guess. Because Yor is probably a strong.
So your crossover would be like kind of funny but kind of weird at the same time. Mine would just be like nice and wholesome, with a little bit of action in there.
Yeah. I'm about to say Asta, Midoriya, and Tanjiro hanging out would be. I can see that being fun. Honestly, though, if you ask me, I think if you was to have Asta, Yuji, and Senku hang out together, that would probably be like the best trio.
Really? Wait, Senku?
Cause,
Why Senku?
cause Senku just, cause like as much as he tries to act aloof, he is a bit of a troublemaker, and he does like having fun. So I could see him setting things up for those two to do. Like, think about it; those would just be two more taijus.
Is it bad like after watching Doctor Stone like for like a little while out of nowhere for no reason? Sometimes I'll like get excited
Right?
just out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I think for your question, for Anya, weird. Lloyd, weird. I'm sure the story in there, weird. Because only thing that's gonna happen is Genji's gonna be simping for Yor, and actually they both would simp for Yor. I think they both would simp for Yor, understandably. And Yor would probably kick
Oh
both of
man.
them.
And with mine, you have the greatest crossover in anime history. At least up there. Well, that can be debated, but it'll be at least top five,
Okay, I
maybe
must
top three.
be going a bit far, but yeah. So that's it for this episode. If you're catching this on Spotify, be sure to reach out to us on social media. The Twitter is Black Heroes 5 at Black Heroes 5. The Instagram is something. It's on our Twitter, I think. So
I think it's also Black Hero 5 too.
uh, see, yes, it is Black Heroes 5 on. That's so yeah. Follow our socials at Black Heroes 5. Um, reach out to us. Let's talk about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us about what your own personal big three for this generation would be. How would you classify it? You know, what do you think is the ones we listed? Do you like them? Do you hate them? If you hate them, let's not get too drastic.
Like a poll and see like who people would think had the better big three list.
Nah, a better big three list. Okay, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
I was about to say because I'm definitely trying to stick away from. I definitely don't want to do it to people that are like the big three will never happen again. Like, shut up. But yeah, so
have some fun, y'all. Like, just like don't make it too serious.
Yeah, so yeah, let's just talk about it. But yeah, that's it for me, Curtis. That's it for you too, right?
Yes, sir. Like I said, follow all the handles. It feels really good to be able to do this again. Like I definitely glad that we're back.
Yeah, the next one we got planned will definitely have a lot of people gunning for me.
Oh yes. No, I cannot wait. You know what? I'm actually looking forward to that. Like I just want to hear what you have to say. Honestly, the whole podcast is just you just talking and me just listening like
Because I thought you was about to say
I
thought you were about to say people you're gonna enjoy people attacking me. I was about to say that's fucked up, Curtis. We're friends.
Like,
we literally have been friends for a decade now. Like this year makes it since we've known each other.
Oh my bro, if that were to happen, I could see you hitting the Obi-Wan. Like you were the chosen one. It said you would destroy it, said not join them.
What's up with you in the Star? Oh, I know what's up with you in the Star Wars thing.
I've been playing a lot of Jedi Survivor. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what? That's it. We're ending everything there. So catch y'all on the next one. Curtis, do the catchphrases.
All right, and remember, everyone. I'm so glad I can say this again.
No way you did it up.
Oh no, dude! I'm so sorry. All right, it's been a minute. I'm rusty, but surpass your limits and plus ultra. Peace.
Damn. Okay. So my last thing. So the pandemic is over, but hygiene is still very important. So be sure to wash your ass. Peace.
Later, guys.
Flashy, I know you know me. The way you look at me, I'm here to save you. I know you love me. My moves are flashy, my looks are flashy. Know it makes you happy when I get fancy. Training every day, every season, so I can fight through the night, slaying demons. Making music, you and I, sound breathing, sound breathing. Set your heart ablaze, all I breathe is flame. Spit the same, you don't wanna play, pull the blade, that's a different game. I don't